Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to meet you all and get to spend some time with you on December 9th. I have known about and really admired your team from afar ever since I first heard Sarah and Karen present on the idea of a team soul at a chaplains conference. And I think that was about 15 or so years ago when I was a newer chaplain. I really have to give your team credit for inspiring me from the beginning of my palliative care career to get curious about palliative care teams, about how they work, what makes them resilient and long lasting and self sustaining, especially in challenging times like these. So, a little bit about me. My name is Denise. I am a palliative care chaplain by background. And about 5 years or so ago, I transitioned from bedside palliative care chaplain work to a national leadership role, working with Catholic healthcare systems, helping them to develop and expand their commitment to palliative care across the continuum of care. What's not on my resume CV is that I kind of grew up in healthcare since my dad was a family physician for 46 years. So I have lots of memories about rounding with him at hospitals back in the day when family physicians used to admit patients to the hospitals. Working with him, working for him at his office during summers, and really watching the business of healthcare change around him from the time he started his practice hanging out a shingle in a strip mall to the time he retired. Monumental changes in healthcare. Also, my father died just over a year and a half ago in the midst of COVID. So I am still grieving, as I'm sure many of us are grieving all different kinds of losses related to COVID, associated with COVID. After he died, my husband and I, we've been married 31 years now. We started splitting our time between our home in Portland, Oregon, and where my mom lives in Phoenix so that we could be closer to her and helpful to her. My 27-year-old daughter is getting married in June. Super excited about that. And really new news, my 30-year-old son just got engaged. So like how life is, there's always that cocktail, that mixture of joys and sorrows. So with that cocktail of emotions, kind of in that spirit of cocktail of emotions, I am excited, nervous, and actually, honestly, somewhat intimidated by coming to talk to you all about the topic of psychological safety in teams. I consider your team to be one of the rock stars of team building and team well-being in the country. I'm not just saying that to flatter you. It's my honor to learn from you. So here's a quick overview of what you'll need to do prior to the December 9th meeting. First, if you're watching this video, check one item off the checklist. You're done with number one. Second, you'll see a link in item number 2 in the email list to Amy Edmondson's TED Talk about building psychologically safe workplaces. Third, I would ask you to complete the SurveyMonkey survey by Monday, December 6th. So a few days before our Thursday meeting. It's just 7 questions. There's an option in each question to add narrative comments if you like. It's completely optional. The 7 questions, they invite you to reflect on your personal experience of the team. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It doesn't have to match or agree with anybody else. It's really a chance for you to look inside and reflect on how you experience the day-to-day life of the current team, the team as you have it right now. What I want you to know about this survey, especially in the spirit of psychological safety, is that it is completely anonymous. I can't tell whose responses are whose. The survey isn't linked to you in any way that I know how to identify. Maybe somebody very technologically savvy would be, but I guarantee you that's not me. And I will be able to see the compiled or aggregate of all of everybody's responses. And one of the reasons I'm asking you to complete the survey by Monday, December 6th, is that I will be sharing those aggregate responses with Sarah ahead of the meeting. Sarah is going to add some content to our session, and her comments will be informed by the survey results. And then also you all will see the aggregate, the compiled survey responses during our session on the 9th. Last thing to know is that we're going to spend hopefully a fairly good chunk of our time in discussion dialogue at the end of the session, where there will be an opportunity for everyone to share some behaviors, either ongoing behaviors or new behaviors that you're committing to further enhance the team's psychological safety. So item 4 on that email checklist directly links to a Google Doc that has the document in it that can give you some ideas for our discussion of what kind of things you might want to consider committing to. So during this interactive part of the session, you'll be able to put in your responses in the chat or unmute yourself and share what you're planning to give to the team and what you need from the team with regard to greater psychological safety. And so, as with any kind of group sharing, the ground rules are that, sharing is always encouraged, but it's never required. So you get to decide how much you share based on what feels safe and appropriately vulnerable for you in the moment. So I think that's all the introductory information you need from me at this point. My contact information is in the email. Feel free to use it. And again, I am really looking forward to being together. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on December 9th.